Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Just Bulldogs podcast. This week at Magic Round, Bulldogs kicked off the weekend going up against the Canberra Raiders, going down 20 points to 24. Bulldogs try scorers were Jacob Preston, Stephen Crichton, Matt Burton, and Jacob Kiraz, with Matt Burton going 2 from 4 with the boot. Raiders try scorers were Xavier Savage, Zeb Chris, Hudson Young bagging a double, and Jordan Rapana going 4 from 4. Pretty disappointing. Lost this one. I don't think we played too fantastic this week. Really gave the win to the Raiders, in my opinion, particularly with those first two tries for the Raiders. The first one coming very early on, I believe, in the first couple minutes, when Connor Tracy dropped a bomb. Wasn't the hardest catch to make. Definitely do expect Connor Tracy to make those catches. So I was disappointed to see that one where Xavier Savage picked it up and crossed over. And then the second one, just a try given to the Raiders from a Bulldogs error, where Jacob Kiraz knocked the ball on in a tackle on a get-out set. And the Raiders scored through Seb Chris. So early on in the game, Bulldogs giving up 2 tries just off their own mistakes. No problem from their defense in those 2 spots. Take those away, and we could have been going into the half with a very big lead and holding the Raiders scoreless. But yeah, given those 2 tries away early on, really put us in a hole just by our own mistakes, and nothing that the Canberra Raiders really did to put themselves in a position to be leading. But later in the half, we did have a fair bit going on with Jordan Rapana getting 10 in the bin for a professional foul on Josh Adekar. And then soon after, we seen Josh Papali'i get sent off for sin binned again. For a hip drop tackle on Viliami Kikau. But yeah, Jordan Rapana in the 35th minute. So we did score one of our tries before that, the Jacob Preston try off a nice kick from Drew Hutchison. The past couple of weeks, we have seen a fair few of these short grubbers into the in goal that Drew Hutchison has put in for some tries. And he got 2 of those in this game. The first one to Jacob Preston, and the second one later on to Matt Burton. But just backtracking a little bit, we did get the Jacob Preston try against the 13 men on the field. And then later on, we started getting our attack rolling a fair bit, got a nice break down the left sideline with Josh Adekar getting in the clear when he put that second kick through, and Jordan Rapana took him out after he kicked it. Sort of went good for the Dogs. The kick was too heavy. I don't believe Josh Adekar was going to get there, but definitely a professional foul that we've seen Jordan Rapana taken from the field for 10 minutes for. And then, straight after that was when we seen Stephen Crichton crossover in the right corner. Stephen Crichton breaking a tackle to score that, getting through the Raiders 5'8" Ethan Strange. And then very soon after that was when we seen a very long time to get through the end of the half, when Josh Papali'i took out Viliami Kikau with a hip drop tackle. It was pretty nasty when we seen it. Viliami Kikau looked like he was in a fair bit of pain. He did get taken from the field at that time as Josh Papali'i was sin binned. And then we seen Matt Burton score his try for the game off another nice Drew Hutchison kick into the in goal. And it really looked like going into half, we had a nice lead. It looked like we were going to start getting the roll on, getting in front to open up the second half. And the way that the Bulldogs have been defending the past few weeks, I thought we would be able to run away with it at that point. Whether we scored a bunch of points, I wasn't too sure of, but we know that the defense that we have been playing with, we can hold teams down pretty well. And the Raiders hadn't been able to score any points off attacking football so far in the game. The only points that they got were from Bulldogs errors. So I really thought we would have been able to keep the score low on the Raiders side, and we'd be able to get away with a win in the second half. And it really looked like that trend was going to happen when in the first minute of the second half, we seen Jacob Kiraz cross over, still against 11 men. So that was the third try scored by the Bulldogs with a player in the bin for the Raiders. yeah, really looked like we were getting in front. We had a nice lead after that. But then once the Raiders got their players back on the field, the Bulldogs' attack just fell apart, trying to shift the ball side to side when we hadn't really earned the right to do so. I know that is part of our game, shifting the ball and working sideline to sideline. But yeah, really have to get into the grind first, especially when they've got those 13 men back on the field, and they can just number up on us. Our attack looks slow. We've seen Matt Burton getting caught down that right sideline or stuck in a dummy half, and then when they try to spread the ball down that left side without Burton, nothing really happening. So yeah, it wasn't too stoked with the way that our attack looked going into the second half. And then we stacked on that with some pretty poor defense at times, just giving up line breaks. And then as soon as we get on the back foot with the Raiders down on our try line, they managed to cross over when they got their chances. And that was when we seen Hudson Young get 2 tries down that left side. Both tries looking very similar with a nice whole ball off the Raiders 5'8". And then once Raiders got that lead on top of us in the 60th minute, the Bulldogs' attack just not being up to the standard in the second half, and we couldn't really make anything happen. We had multiple chances. We did get a few goes down on the Raiders try line, particularly at the end of the game, but just players not quite in position, and attack just not really looking like it has in the first half of this game, but particularly the last few weeks. So yeah, definitely not too stoked with the way that we played in this one. I'll get into some of the team stats first before we talk about some of the particular player performances. We won the possession battle 55% to 45%. We had majority of the ball. Our completion rate, not great, but not too far off the standard, 71% completion rate. With, where is it? Sorry, 12 errors. It's not fantastic. 2 penalties conceded, 3 ruck infringements. So yeah, not great, not wildly bad, but yeah, definitely not good. And then on the defensive side, 85% effective tackle rate, with 343 tackles made, 36 tackles missed. So yeah, a little bit high, but definitely not out of the range of being able to come away with a win with those stats. 20 ineffective tackles is probably creeping up, but yeah, within reason. We just really needed our attack to come away in this one. And we really only gave up the 2 tries from our defense. So I think our defense is still quality. Just some lapses in the second half when players are starting to get tired. But yeah, really the first 2 tries, as I said, from our own mistakes, nothing from the Raiders attack that put us off. And then 2 tries when Raiders started to get a roll on in the second half. So yeah, we really should have come away with a win in this one. I think we were the better team, but not able to get our attack going when we really needed to. Really put us in trouble in this one and gave the Raiders the upper hand. So yeah, very disappointed that we couldn't come away with a win in this one. These are the wins that we really need to try to come away with if we want to see ourselves moving up the ladder. And with a couple of losses in a row against some good teams, but this one was definitely winnable. It's going to see our season slip away if we don't start stacking some wins. The next few weeks, we've got some games that I definitely think we can get up in, but yeah, these are the ones we'll look back on that we really wish we could have come away with. We're getting into some of the play stats, some of the players that I do think stood out in this game. Jacob Carraz, he did have a couple of errors, particularly that one in the first half that led to the Raiders try, but he was pretty incredible with the ball in hand. Come away with a try, 22 runs for 241 meters, 85 post contact with 6 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, and an offload. Carraz is having an incredible season, really leading from the front, particularly in our get out sets. But even with that right side attack starting to improve, we can start seeing him to get some tries under his name as well. So very impressed with Jacob Carraz. Also had 9 tackles with 0 miss. So very good effort from him there. Bronson Cherry has some pretty good stats, but not quite getting the most chances with the ball in attacking position, but definitely making the most of it when he does. In this game, came away with 15 runs for 141 meters, 51 post contact with 2 tackle breaks, 1 offload, 7 tackles, 2 missed. He's really stood out the past few weeks, in my opinion. One thing with Matt Burton's game, I'm very happy with the way that Matt Burton's been playing. I think he's developing really well as a ball player to go along with his good running game. and his pairing with Viliame Kikau has been very good all season. Viliame Kikau looking like the form back rower of the comp, or definitely in the mix. Um, but yeah, Matt Burton not really being able to utilize his center down that left side, I think is sort of one point where we really could be a dominant left side attacking side if Matt Burton can get that into his game. I do think we still are one of the best left side attacking teams in the comp, up there with the best. But Bronson Cherry getting wasted at times. We've seen it at the start of the season when Stephen Crichton was over there, not quite getting utilized. Um, Now Bronson Cherry in that spot. When he gets some room with the ball, we definitely get to see what he can do. Looks very strong in contact. He's linked up with Josh Odakar on multiple occasions where they've been able to get some room down the sideline and looks very dangerous. They are just closer to the try line in our attacking sets. It would be really good to see Bronson Cherry get some good ball close to the line. I think it has a lot to do with the structure that we play with down that left side. We don't really utilize a fullback on our left side attacking raids. So I definitely think that is a part of it. Um, but yeah, I definitely like to see Bronson Cherry a bit more involved in those attacking raids. He's still doing very good on the get out sets, getting through plenty of work. And then when he gets a chance closer to the halfway mark, when they get those left side spreads going, he's involved in that. But yeah, just not too much happening when we get close to the try line. But yeah, very happy with the way that Bronson Cherry's developing this season. Stephen Crichton, he was our Just Bulldogs fan voted player of the game. So congratulations to him for that. He was very good in this game. In my opinion, cemented his spot in the Origin team with this game. Very strong with the ball, great defensively, come away with a try and getting through plenty of work also. So very happy with the way that Critter played. So in this one, came away with a try, 15 runs for 168 meters, 49 post contact, 5 tackle breaks, 1 line break, 2 line break assists. Good to see getting Carrez open down the side. 2 offloads, 14 tackles, 5 missed. 5 misses a little bit too high, but very dangerous with the ball and done well to shut down some of Raiders attacking rates down that side. It was where the Raiders did manage to score their 2 tries off attacking football, but yeah, definitely not coming through Critter. They were back roll tries, so a bit more on the men inside him, but yeah, definitely locking down that right edge closer to the sideline. Very happy with Critter so far. On to the next, Josh Odakar, 11 runs for 131 meters, 29 post contact, 2 tackle breaks, 1 line break, 2 tackle, 0 tackles, 2 missed. Not the greatest stats for Fox on that one. Didn't quite get the opportunities in this one. In attack, you can see him trying to get through a bit more work in the get out sets, but it's not quite his game. Just need to try to get him involved in the attacking football as much as possible, but definitely still doing some good things. Matt Burton, a bit of a man in the moment at the moment. In this one, came away with a try and a try assist. 10 runs for 116 meters, 24 post contact, 4 tackle breaks, 1 line break assist, 19 tackles, 3 missed, 8 kicks for 213 meters. Definitely think he's doing a pretty good job trying to grab onto that New South Wales Blues 5'8" position. I definitely think he's well in the mix. Not sure if he's going to get it, but in my opinion, he's up there with some of the form 5'8s in the comp. In this game, in the early parts, he definitely took control of it, got amongst it, in my opinion. Done well to come away with a try and done some good things running the ball. Multiple opportunities where he did break the line, but just got caught up before he could really get in the clear. Done well to get his players around him involved, and he's utilizing both sides of the field. I do like him roaming around, getting both sides involved, but when he gets stuck down that right edge, and then they try to throw those left side backline shifts, it sort of leaves us with nothing doing without Burton over there. So I do like him getting down that right side attack, but yeah, just really need to get something happening before those left side shifts go again without him. Just very slow and not a lot happening without him. So definitely something that we can improve on there. But I do think Matt Burton's playing some very good football. Sort of disappeared in the last 10 minutes when we really needed the attack to go. We've seen in the last play of the game, he was a dummy half, throwing the ball to first receiver Reed Marnie. Definitely not what I want to see. Last play of the game, last chance to come away with a game winner, sorry. I want Matt Burton with the hands on the ball. So, yeah, don't want to see him a dummy half in those situations. But other players, Drew Hutchison, he got a couple of try assists in this game off kicks, the Jacob Preston and the Matt Burton try. but another one. He's having good moments where he is putting players around him in good position, but he's a few times where he's just running game where it looks like he's getting through, but doesn't quite have the pace to keep it going. He's not quite putting his outside man in great position through his passing game. Um, and then his kicking game's not quite up there either. He had a couple that sort of put us under a bit more pressure than helping us. So definitely not the best game from Hutchinson, though we did have some very good moments as well. So that got points on the board for us. Sorry. Next one up, very happy with the way that this player played. Front rower Max Kings got through 62 minutes of work, 15 runs for 130 meters, 45 post contact, one tackle break, one offload, 46 tackles with 4 missed. Very good game from our leader in the front, Max King. Definitely think he's doing some very good things for us. And then his partner that started up front, Samuel Hughes, not quite getting through the minutes that he has seen the last few weeks, but 37 minutes, 7 runs for 55 meters, 17 post contact, 27 tackles, 0 miss. So very good in the defensive side. Reid Marnie was good in this one. Definitely looked good in the period where we had the 13 on 11 advantage. Gave our boys good early ball to make stuff happen. But yeah, towards the later end of the game, it looked like he was trying a bit too much to be the one to come away with the game winner. Where I really want him just to distribute and get Burton the good ball. So definitely something where I would prefer him just to sort of stick to his role when we need the points. I like it when they mix it up, like in the middle period of the game where we can get Reid Marnie out at first receiver. But when we come down to the pointy end of the game, I want Burton with the ball in hand. So Reid Marnie has to get to dummy half in those positions. Next one up, Viliami Kickout had 9 minutes on the sideline with the ankle injury, but did get back on the field. He has been named again for this week's game, so definitely stoked to see him looking like he's all good. This one, 14 runs for 140 meters, 51 post contact, 3 tackle breaks, 1 offload, 20 tackles, 5 missed. Looked to be in good position multiple times, but the Raiders team definitely did well to shut him down at most times. So I think there was definitely a bit more potential. Looked to force a few passes that weren't quite on. Came away with 3 errors. Definitely not great. So definitely think there's some improvement for Kickout. But he is the strike player on our team at the moment, and he is making the game for Matt Burton a lot easier by taking some pressure off him and the defense really focusing in on him. So, yeah, definitely some spots that we can improve, trying to force those passes off the ground, but still doing some very good things. Josh Curran started on the edge in this one, 56 minutes on the field, 14 runs for 107 meters, 26 post contact, 35 tackles with just the 1 missed. Very good game from Curran. Got a bit busted up early on, bit of blood coming from the face, but done well to get through with plenty of work. Had him as my spotlight player of the week, but he was shifted to the edge to start the game. I think he's a very good edge back rower, but where the Bulldogs are right now, I think we need him in the middle a lot more than we need him on the edge. We got to see Jacob Preston get through a fair few minutes on the edge this week. Looked very good out there, come away with a try. 10 runs for 112 meters, 51 post contact, very good. 3 tackle breaks, 31 tackles, 1 missed. Fantastic work from Preston. The most minutes he's had on the edge since his return. I'll talk about it later on in the podcast when we get into the preview, but he hasn't been named to start in that back row spot. Jamison named in there, but I don't know what they're doing. Jacob Preston looked great on the field. In my opinion, if he's ready to go, which it looks like he is, he got through 58 minutes. I can definitely see him playing 70 to 80 minutes on the edge. I want him back in that starting spot. He played incredible. He's great defensively. He's very good with the ball. He can really get that right side attack going. So I really want to see Jacob Preston back into the field in a big minute role, particularly in the starting side. So, yeah, very happy with the way that Preston's played in his return. They're just a bit confused by the way that they're using him right now, whether he's ready to go or not. He's playing enough minutes where it looks like he is ready to go, but really confused why he's not in the starting side. And then the both 2 locks, Kurt Mann and Bailey Hayward, very happy with the way that they're playing. Doesn't always reflect in their stats, but they're really doing well to get our halves in good attacking position. Kurt Mann getting through a decent amount of work with the ball, 11 runs for 98 meters. Bailey Hayward, 7 runs for 69 meters. And then both great defensively. Kurt Mann, 28 tackles, 2 missed. Bailey Hayward, 19 tackles, 2 missed. But yeah, most of their highlight plays are just getting our halves in good position to get our back line sets going. They do it all over the field. Once we get outside of our 20 to 30 meter range, that's when the ball starts to shift. So very happy with the way that Kurt Mann and Bailey Hayward are playing in that rotating lock role, getting very equal minutes and just getting through, so doing some really good things with the ball. But yeah, that'll do for our review of the Bulldogs Raiders game. Very, very disappointed that we couldn't come away with a win. A game that I really thought we should have. Well, yeah, it really comes down to those two errors at the start of the game. From the drop balls that Raiders scored tries off, that really put us in bad position for the rest of the game. We could, and even when we did manage to get the lead back on our side, couldn't get our attack going for the full 80 to come away with the win. But yeah, definitely disappointing to see. Definitely think we did show some good things that our season can still get on track. Only giving up the 2 tries off opposition attacking plays is a good thing to see. But yeah, disappointing with the errors. But that'll do for the review of the Bulldogs versus Raiders game to open up Magic Round. I'm going to have a quick break and then I'll get into the preview of the Bulldogs Dragons. And we're back. Okay, so now this week, round 12, Bulldogs take on the St. George Dragons at Accor Stadium. This is a home game for the Bulldogs. Very important game for us to get ourselves back on track against a team very close to us on the ladder. This is 11th versus 9th. We are currently in 11th. A win in this game could do a lot of things to really get us back in that mix to get into the top 8. It's pretty congested on the edge of that top 8. A lot of teams fighting for that spot. So definitely think this one could do some very good things for us. Getting into our team list. At fullback, we have Connor Tracy. The wingers, Jacob Carraz and Josh Adokar. In the centres, Bronson Cherry and Stephen Crichton. At 5'8", Matt Burton with Drew Hutchison at halfback. Starting front rowers are Max King and Sam Hughes with Reed Marnie at dummy half. Starting back rowers are Viliami Kickout and Jamin Salmon with Kurt Mann at lock. On the bench, we have Bailey Hayward, Josh Curran, Curtis Morin, and Jacob Preston. And on the extended bench, Pawasa Farmasili, Blake Taff, Jake Turpin, Blake Wilson, and not Jake Turpin. I already said him. And last one, Toby Sexton. Sorry. Only changes. We see Jamin Salmon come back into the side, and Jacob Preston pushed to the bench with Pawasa Farmasili on the extended squad. As I was saying earlier in the podcast, I don't know what's going on with Jacob Preston. In my opinion, one of the best players in our side. He last year he was probably the best player in our team consistently. With the return of Viliami Kickout, we have a very good second row pairing. But Jacob Preston, very close to the level of a Viliami Kickout with a different style to his game. Great defensively, gets through a ton of work, but still offers plenty in attack. So, yeah, I can't see why Jacob Preston's not in the starting side. Jamin Salmon offers a lot in defense. He's very safe defensively, but does not have the attacking upside of a Jacob Preston. So I'm very curious what they're going to do. Now that we've seen Jacob Preston, he looks very fit on the field. Looks like he can get through all the work. Whether they put Preston on early and play him for the 60 minutes just with Jamin Salmon starting the game, or if they see Jamin Salmon as a big minute second rower, as he's been while Jacob Preston's been out. We've seen Josh Curran start on the edge this week when Jamin Salmon was named out. So very curious to see if they change things at all. I do like what Jamin Salmon's done for us since he's come to this team. But when Jacob Preston's named and fit and can play the long minutes in that edge spot, I can't really see a spot for Jamin Salmon going forward. Now that we have Bailey Hayward as our 14. To start the season, Jamin Salmon was our lock, and he was interchanging with Kurt Mann, very similar to how Kurt Mann and Bailey Hayward are playing. But in my opinion, Kurtman has been very good for us this season. He's been we've had a lot of new recruits this year that are playing some good football, but Kurtman is well in the mix as one of the best recruits for us this season. And then the emergence of Bailey Hayward coming into the team, doing some very good things. I think those two are interchanging very well and playing a very similar style of football that I don't think Jamin Semin, he has the same game, but I don't think he's showing the ability as well as Kerman and Bailey Hayward have. So it's tough to see where Jamin Semin fits into the side once he does drop from that. Once Jacob Preston takes that starting second row spot, which I do expect him to do. Just curious to see what they do once that happens, whether Jamin Semin gets into the starting 17 or if he drops out completely. But I will quickly go over the Dragon starting lineup. I didn't do that at the start. At fullback, Tyrell Sloan. On the wing, Zach Lomax and Michaela Ravalawa. Their centers, Moses Sully and Jack Bird. Kyle Flanagan, ex-Bulldog, starting at 5'8", with Ben Hunt at halfback. Their front rowers, Frank Molo and Harm Sele, with Jacob Little at dummy half. Their back rowers, Tom Eisenhuth and Jaden Sewer, with Jack DeBellin at lock. A couple of Bulldogs on the Dragons bench, starting with New Brown. They have Blake Laurie and another Bulldog, Raymond Fatala Mariner, and Luciano Leilua returning. Their extended Ben Murdoch, Masilla, Matt Fagai, Alec Tavaka, Toby Couchman, and Jesse Marshke. So a team that is in a very similar spot to us on the ladder. I will go onto the ladder now to see their wins and losses. So they are sitting on 5 wins, 5 losses. Bulldogs 4 wins, 6 losses. So very big game for us to equal our wins, losses, get us on the same points as them, which could put us in a good position to fight for a spot in the top 8. We have a very good for and against for a team lower on the ladder. So a win for us could potentially see us take a spot in the top 8 if results go our way in other games. But we really need to come away with a win just to stay in the mix, so we don't fall too far behind. But definitely a game where I do think we can come away with a win. Where I would be looking to target this Dragon side, they have some pretty good attacking weapons in their team, but not the best defensively. Their centers are Jack Bird and Moses Sully, are bigger bodies, but players that aren't quite the best laterally. So I would try to get on the outside of them. Zach Lomax, I believe, is playing on that right wing. He is playing on the right wing. Definitely a very strong player to go to. So it'll be a tough matchup for our left side to really focus in on him. But I would like to target their left side defense. So we really need Drew Hutchison to step up in this one to get Stephen Crichton good ball. I definitely think him linking up with Jacob Carraz could take advantage of the right edge of, I believe, Jack Bird's down that right center spot. And then the right winger, their left edge is Jack. Start again. Their left center, I believe, is Moses Sully, and left winger Michaela Ravalawa. So I definitely think that's a spot where we should be targeting. If we can get Stephen Crichton good ball and he can link up with Jacob Carraz, definitely think that's a spot where we can take advantage of them. And then getting through their halves, Kyle Flanagan, their left side 5'8", their left side half. Really want Drew Hutchison to really try to take advantage of those guys. Definitely players that are solid on the field, but can make some mistakes defensively. So I really want our right side attack to try to get some good ball going down there. Always expect our left side attack to be dominant. And I don't think it matters too much how good you are defensively. Our left side attack can get over the top of any team in the comp. But I think the spots to target in this team is their left side defense. So our right side attack should be able to get some points going. I think this is a game where our middles can really take advantage of them. No really big names in the side. Luciano Leilua has been out for a few weeks, so he will return. Offers some pretty good stuff in attack, but I think another player that doesn't quite have the defensive ability. So somewhere we can really try to get at them. And then, across the park, a few solid players, but no real standouts in their forward pack. So definitely think we can get a roll on against this Dragon side and really move them side to side as we have been so far this season. Really spreading the ball early, getting out of our own end. So definitely think that is how we can take advantage of this Dragon side. Who I think will be looking to stand out on this one. This is our last game before Origin teams are announced. So as I said in the last podcast, we have a few boys that are really trying to stand up to get a sky blue jersey going into the Origin period. Players are trying to get one that I definitely think are in the mix. Stephen Crichton, Josh Adokar, Matt Burton, and Josh Curran are definitely the players that I think are in the mix to get an Origin jersey. And then players that are on the fringe, Jacob Kiraz, Max King, and Jacob Preston, maybe future Blues players. But yeah, those are the players that I think are really trying to stand up in this one to try to show off what they can do to potentially get into that New South Wales squad. But yeah, one that I'll most be looking for is our 5A Matt Burton to really take control of this game, really get the attack going. I do think Stephen Crichton's locked in his spot in the centres for New South Wales, potentially in a wing spot, but definitely in the side. Josh Adokar probably has to show a bit more to get into that side to get his spot back. And then Josh Curran, I think, could potentially get in the mix for a bench spot with a really big game this week, but a fair bit of competition for those spots. But Matt Burton, there's a bit of a battle going on for who's going to get that sixth spot. It's definitely a jersey up for the taking. So I think if he can have a very big game in this one, really show off what he can do, get that left side attack going really well and put some points on down that left side, definitely think he's in the mix to get into that New South Wales Origin side. So I think all those boys will really be looking for a big game here. I do think we'll come away with a win. I think we've been playing some very good football and we've lost them to some quality sides. Last week's game, very disappointing to not come away with a win. But I do think we did show some good things and our defense is still very strong. So I do think we'll come away with a win. I think we'll grind out the first half and keep the Dragons' points very low. And then the second half is when we'll try to stack on some points. So as I predicted last week, the game did go as I said it would until the back end of the game where our attack really fell off and we gave up some points to the Raiders side. I think we'll come away with this one 28 points to the Dragons 6. So I definitely think we will come away with a win. My spotlight player this week, a player that I do think needs to have a big game, is our 5A Matt Burton. So he is the Just Bulldogs spotlight player going into round 12 against the Dragons. But yeah, that'll do it. That's my predictions for the game. That's what I think needs to happen. What players I think will stand out. But I appreciate everyone for listening. Make sure to check out at JustBulldogs on Instagram. Got the YouTube going, Just Bulldogs there, and then at Just Bulldogs on Twitter as well, or X. So if you're looking for a bit more content, make sure to check those out. If you want to vote on your player of the game, you check out the Instagram. That's where I put the votes up. Check the stories out there. And I've got live updates as the game goes on. So if you're looking for anything else, if you want to let me know your opinions, or if you want to catch up, got any questions, make sure to check out at Just Bulldogs on Instagram. It's probably your best spot to chase me up. But I appreciate everyone for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.